In this video, we'll be looking at some general information and instructions that are very important to ensuring the census process runs smoothly. Let's start with a few definitions. What is a population census? A population census may be defined as a total process of planning, gathering, compiling, and publishing information at the smallest geographic area on the people of a country or a specific area. The census provides information on the population size, age, and sex structure, where people live, level of education, employment status, and other such characteristics. In short, it relates the information on the total count of the population and its characteristics. What is a housing census? A housing census is a total process of planning, collecting, compiling, and publishing information relating to the number and condition of housing units at a specified time and area. It also provides information on facilities available to the households, living quarters, and occupants within that specified time period. Why is a population and housing census being taken? The census aims to provide the information needed to assess changes in population and provides a base for policy development to improve the economic and social status of the country's citizens. Censuses need to be conducted periodically as the population and the housing stock changes over time and people move from place to place. A growing population may require a number of additional services, for example, schools, water supply, hospitals, clinics, and factories. Information provided by the 2022 Population and Housing Census about the growth and movement of the population will inform agencies which have the responsibility for planning and the provision of these services. Census data are available for use by the government, policymakers, analysts, businesses, community groups, and individuals. For example, availability of the information will help citizens in their local areas with the identification of certain services that may be needed or where businesses may open, creating employment opportunities. As a census taker, you play a vital part in the census operations. You have been tasked with the job of taking the 2022 Population and Housing Census of every household in an assigned enumeration district or ED. Every effort must be made to obtain complete and exact answers to questions and to record these accurately according to your instructions. The accuracy and quality of the census data depend to a large extent on the interest you take in your job as a census taker and the thoroughness with which you and your fellow census takers perform your tasks. You therefore hold a key position in this important undertaking. The census is being taken under the Statistics Act, which requires that all persons in Jamaica provide information to you, the census taker, acting as an agent for the census office. It also requires that all information collected in the census be kept confidential. When you accept the job of census taker, you'll be required to take an oath of secrecy that you will never reveal any census information to anyone other than an authorized employee of Statin. You will also be required to sign a form of oath, declaration, and agree to complete your assignment to the best of your ability and in accordance with the required standards. This means that you must not disclose the information to anyone but your census supervisor, the census officer, or a member of staff of the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, who is authorized to see your work. Also, you must not talk about it to anyone, including members of your family, or you will be in breach of the Statistics Act 1984. Some of the people whom you interview may hesitate to answer some of the questions. This is an understandable reaction because you will be asking them information that they do not normally give to strangers. You may put them at ease by telling them that all census takers working in the census have taken an oath of secrecy and a declaration of confidentiality, and the information collected is used for statistical purposes only and will only be published in an aggregated and anonymized format. So what's your assignment as a census taker? Your assignment as a census taker is first to list all building units in your assigned enumeration district, ED, and record the information required in the visitation record, VR. An ED is the smallest geographic unit into which Jamaica is divided. In addition, you are required to complete a questionnaire according to the questions given in this manual. for each household found and each individual who lives in your ED. If you are a census taker for group dwellings, you will have the responsibility for taking the census in non-private dwellings such as nursing homes, college residences, prisons, etc. Census takers for group dwellings will receive specific instructions in a separate training. Census takers play an essential role in the data collection of the census and therefore directly impact the result of the entire process. In general, the responsibilities of the census takers are to A. List all the buildings, dwellings, and households on the visitation record for the EDs assigned in the manner instructed. B. Locate the households in the EDs that are assigned to them and administer the questionnaires both household and individual. C. Check completed questionnaires to ensure that all relevant questions were asked. D. Make at least 3 callbacks to interview respondents who could not be interviewed during their first visit due to various reasons. E. Ensure that the information given is correct by keeping the respondent focused on the questions. F. Prepare debriefing notes for the census supervisor on the problems encountered. G. Attend weekly team meetings with your census supervisor to review your work and discuss any challenges encountered. H. Correct the VR and questionnaires in a timely manner as instructed. I. Attend other meetings as instructed by their census supervisor, census area manager, or the census officer or their designate. J. Manage and secure all materials and equipment provided and owned by Statin in connection with these duties. What is the role of the census supervisor? As a census taker, you will be working under the supervision and direction of your census supervisor, who will A. Give you your assignment, B. Supply you with your enumeration materials, C. Observe and review your work and explain how you may need to improve it, D. Ensure that you understand and follow the instructions in this manual and those given throughout the training classes, E. Ensure that you complete your assignments as quickly and accurately as possible, F. Review and approve the VR and questionnaires submitted in a timely manner, G. Conduct field verification exercises and other quality checks as instructed, H. Help you to resolve the enumeration problems you may encounter throughout the course of data collection, and I. Prepare administrative reports as required. As a census taker, you must maintain communication with your census supervisor, advising him or her of where you are, attend meetings at a set time and location, and following carefully the instruction which he or she gives you on census matters. In order to do your job effectively, you will get an enumeration kit from your census supervisor. This kit includes a census identification card, a tablet and relevant accessories, blank household and individual questionnaires if you are assigned a paper ED, blank visitation records to document private households if you are assigned a paper ED, a box in which to keep completed questionnaires if you are assigned a paper ED, a map of your ED and a description of it, a clipboard, a bag in which you will keep materials in while you're in the field. Remember, at the end of enumeration, you'll be required to return all these items to your census supervisor. Working hours. As a census taker, you will be required to work outside of what is often considered normal working hours. This is because you will have to adjust your working hours to the time when you are most likely to find persons at home. This often means making visits to households early in the morning and more particularly in the afternoon and early evening. Weekends, that is Saturdays and Sundays, are often the best days to find people at home. You will therefore be required to work on these days. What is the role of the census area manager? The census area manager plays an essential administrative role in the census activities. The census area manager oversees and directs his or her assigned census supervisors and is the bridge between the census supervisors and the head office. The main duties of the census area managers are to A. Assist in the evaluation of census supervisors and census takers, B. Oversee the administrative processes for his or her census supervisors and census takers, C. Disseminate information to his or her census supervisor as considered necessary by the census officer, D. Oversee all data collection activities in his or her assigned area, E. Prepare and submit administrative reports of their areas, F. Conduct field verification exercises and other quality checks as instructed. G. Provide logistical support for the execution of the census. H. Review and sign off on administrative reports submitted by their assigned census supervisors. I. Oversee the distribution of census material in their area. What is the role of the headquarter user editor coder? The headquarter user editor coder plays a vital role in the quality of the census data by ensuring that the questionnaires have been completed accurately and consistently. Remember, your count, me count, all we count.